Day one, my friends. We are officially on the move, and we are headed out basically on about a 6-hour drive today, 6.5 through Kentucky, through Tennessee, through Kentucky, and then just over the border into Missouri, where I've found a couple of primitive campsites. So we're gonna see how they play out. I found them on either iOverlander or Campendium, one of the two. I have one that is kind of at a lake site, which should be really nice. And then the other one is a backup that is in the Mark Twain forest. So hopefully one of the two will pan out. We're trying to make it there before dark. We've probably got another 5.5 hours left of driving, and it's currently 1 o'clock. So we're kind of pushing it. Got a little bit of a late start today. We got to stop here and fill up water and then grab a couple things from the store. But outside of that, we should just be steady cruising. Morgan is behind me in her 3rd gen Tacoma. Obviously, I'm in the 1st gen, and we're just gonna keep trucking until we make it to camp. Again, hopefully before dark. So catch up with you guys in just a little bit. Made it into Mississippi, and probably the lowest I've ever taken this truck on fuel. So we're literally about a mile away from the fuel stop. So if I didn't already mention it, we are in Missouri. We're kind of taking like a southern route instead of going up through Kentucky. And I think it's just straight Missouri now. We're in Mississippi. So I think it's just straight Mississippi into Missouri. And it's about like 90 degrees outside. So gonna give this drink a try. Oh, it's so flipping good. Honestly, give it like an 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10. 2 of those points are just because it's ice cold. That's so nice. So we're gonna keep on trucking. The sites that I have booked, or not booked, but the primitive sites that I found for tonight in Missouri are gonna be a total hit or miss. They are, the one is basically off of a Forest Service road, and the spot could be taken. It may not even be campable. We're gonna have to find out when we get there. And then I have a backup spot that is in the Mark Twain forest, which is a little bit further of a drive. And again, same deal, it's just primitive camping. So might be taken, might not even be able to camp there. We're just gonna have to play it by ear, hope for the best, but we're gonna keep on going. Looks like we may have a storm rolling in over us. we made it out to Missouri. We are kind of we're about an hour beyond the border. I think we're in Poplar Bluff. That might be the name of it. We're on just a Forest Service road. This was the first campsite that I found that actually is gonna, I think, work out just fine. I don't see any like no trespassing signs or private property. I think we're on a forest road, and then this is just like a little camp spot on it. There's actually a campfire over there, but gonna be sleeping in the GFC tonight. It's really hot, it's really humid. It's probably like 85% humidity right now. It's brutal, but definitely glad the truck made it. I mean, both trucks made it, but I was a little more worried about mine. The check engine light never came on. The exhaust seems to be holding up just fine. New outer tie rod is holding up great. You know, alignment seems to be in check, and it's about 7-ish hours of driving today. So I think if there were some gremlins that were immediately hiding, I probably would have figured them out. So here we are, camp night 1 on our way from Tennessee to Colorado. So pretty much just a standard camping spot off a Forest Service road. I got my truck as level as I can, and I think we're gonna use my tent to sleep up in, and then Morgan's got the kitchen rocking in her truck right now. It is honestly very nice to have 2 rigs, so that way you're not, you know, trying to cook in one and then also trying to set up bed in the other one. Such a nice, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just very nice. And then over here is a little bit more like flat ground. And then we have a little fire pit tucked in the woods over there. Probably not going to use it just because it's so hot tonight, but nice little sunset peeking through the trees. Went to sleep in the woods, woke up at a Love's truck stop. Yesterday or last night did not go quite to plan, which we basically had gone to bed after dinner really early, like 9:30 at night, just because we were both so tired, and ended up going both up into my GFC with Hank down in the bottom of my truck, but then there was just absolutely no airflow. So Morgan ended up going over to her GFC and bringing Hank up top in her tent, and then I was sleeping in my GFC just because it's too much with Hank up there. It'd be way too hot with 2 people and the dog. So I fell asleep for maybe an hour and a half, and then woke up to Morgan calling my phone. Like, I just kept hearing this vibrating, and I finally just like was like, what in the heck? Who's calling me at like 1:30 in the morning? And I'm sorry, I'm so tired right now. It is currently 6 a.m. and I'm wiped. And I woke up and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And she was basically saying that she was woken up by Hank, who was just staring out the back of her tent, like standing up, just staring diligently out the back of the tent. And she heard rustling, wasn't sure if it was an animal or not. And before we had gone to bed, there was a truck that was driving down the dirt road. It's literally a dead end. We were probably, where we were camping was maybe like 800 yards from the end of the road. So really nothing to do out there, especially at like 10 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night when this guy was driving out there. And so Morgan was pretty freaked out because Hank was just on high alert for some reason. She couldn't tell if it was an animal or potentially a person sneaking around. So I woke up, checked everything out, didn't see anything. In the time that I was out of the truck, like looking around, another truck drove by, which at this point it's like close to 1 a.m. So it's like, what are you doing in the middle of the woods on a dead end road, driving your truck around at 1 a.m? So between Hank hearing something, waking up Morgan hearing something rustling around, the like random trucks just driving by, yeah, it just I was like, let's just go. let's just leave. Clearly, I'm not going to be able to sleep after this whole situation. So we ended up at like 1 a.m, packing up, heading out of the woods, driving for maybe an hour and a half, and we ended up at this love station. And I was so tired. Normally, I will like stealth camp at a truck stop like this and sleep in the back of the truck bed, just on the lower portion. But I was so tired and just wanted to fully sprawl out. I'm like, I'm just gonna pop my tent in this Love's truck station, and I don't even care. And honestly, I slept great. Once I did fall asleep, it was a bit noisy, but there was a nice breeze, which was so good. It's been so hot. So woke up this morning at about 5:30 and just, got myself a little Dunky's iced coffee. Morgan's still sleeping, so I think. And once she gets up, we're gonna hit the road, and I need to recharge this AC in this truck. It blows cold, but it leaves a lot to be desired. And I think today is supposed to be even hotter than yesterday, and yesterday was like low 90s. So I want to get this AC recharged if I can. So we're gonna wait for Morgan to get up, head to an auto parts store because they should be opening pretty soon, and then recharge the AC. And I guess at this point, we're gonna stick to our original plan, which was to make it out past Wichita, Kansas. And again, found a couple of campsites. These ones are a little less secluded. Like, I think it's more like a park almost, but it's like a first come, first serve campground. So a little more, I don't know, a little bit less sketchy supposedly, but we're just going to have to see when we get there. It's just one of those things. Or we may just keep driving and see if we can make it like into the state of Colorado today. And then and then maybe wake up tomorrow and get the rest of the way. Anyways, I'm exhausted. I'm going to crush this coffee and see you guys when I can recharge my AC. Probably waited like 5 years too long to do that. I've never done it on this truck since owning the vehicle, and it is so nice having cold AC. I should have just done that a long time ago, but I had read somewhere that if like technically AC systems don't need a recharge, like if it needs a recharge, it's because it's leaking. I don't know if that's true or not. If you guys know, leave a comment down below, but so I was always like, well, I don't want to waste money on a recharge system if it's just going to leak out anyways. So, that may be the case, but for now, I'm going to enjoy this cold, frigid air coming out of these vents, because today it's supposed to be like 93 degrees and like, I don't know, 85% humidity again. So it's going to be enjoyable. This drive for 7.5 hours today is going to be great. And we're just going to keep the video rolling and see where we end up for camp tonight. Probably somewhere past Wichita. So let's hit the road. Quick update for y'all. We're somewhere in Kansas. We're probably about 3 hours from our next camp spot. This camera is not properly mounted up here. And bad news. As I was saying, bad news, the rear bumper that I was having built for me, we just passed the area where I was supposed to pick it up. Unfortunately, it's not ready yet. The gentleman that's building it had to order some parts that haven't come in yet, and then also, I think he said his tube bender broke. So the plan now is to pick it up on the way home from Colorado. Not entirely ideal, but I guess less weight on the back of the truck, more fuel efficient. So it's not a big deal. Hopefully, I'm really banking on it being ready by the time I come back through Kansas, because otherwise I have no reason to come all the way out to Kansas. So that would be a perfect opportunity to pick it up on the way home. Now, for tonight, we're going to get to the camp spot and then probably gonna edit for a bit because I gotta keep these videos rolling out for you guys, and I don't want all these travel days to like basically have zero time for me to edit. So we're gonna get to the camp spot. We'll probably get there at about 4 p.m. and I'm gonna edit, and then we'll either decide if we're gonna stay the night there or if we're just gonna keep trekking and try and get a few more hours down and out of the way, and then stop at like another truck area, which isn't ideal. However, if it means waking up tomorrow and having a far less distance to drive, that might be the ticket. So that is what is going on right now, just in the middle of freaking nowhere. After about 7 hours of travel today, we've landed in this beautiful spot here in Kansas. This is a state park with a primitive campground. It's free. There's maybe a pit toilet, but outside of that, you're on your own. And there was quite a number of spots, a few that were still open, and we snagged this one just because it's been so windy today with like 40-mile-an-hour gusts. We were battling headwinds, and it was actually pretty exhausting driving my little Tacoma for 7 hours in these winds. But we faced the campers towards the wind, so that way the wind's hitting the shells, the top part, and the struts on them aren't, they're not acting like sails. So we'll see how it pans out for us, but we're gonna hang out, chill, enjoy finally a time of no driving. So the office on wheels is pretty dang cool. Got everything set up here to do some editing, and just moved the cushions aside so that way I can stand and have my standing desk with the windows open on both 3 sides, sorry. And right out here, Morgan picked up a Starlink Mini, so we now have Wi-Fi on the go, which means I can edit these videos and upload them at much faster speed than I was doing at McDonald's. Good morning and welcome to day 3 of travel, the final day of driving out to Colorado. Today we've got about an 8-hour trek, and it's, again, really windy, 40-mile-an-hour gusts. I haven't lost a roof rack yet, haven't lost any parts off the truck, so that's, we're hanging in there. Just stopped for gas and checked all my fluids, oil, brake, all that stuff. Shook out the air filter just because it was so dusty yesterday from all this wind. And last night camp was beautiful. It was very windy, but honestly, if it hadn't been windy, it would have been so hot and humid. So you win some, you lose some, and I think last night was a win for a campsite. So we are headed out, 8 hours of driving. We're hoping to get there before the sun goes down. Right now it says 5:30 p.m. ETA. So we'll see if we can keep it, keep that set right there and not push it back too far. But trucks are doing good, just cruising along. And I appreciate you guys hanging around on this video with me, just because it's, maybe not the most exciting thing, because it's just driving, filling up with gas, driving, getting to camp, waking up, driving, filling up with gas, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. So once we actually get to Colorado, the episodes are going to be a little bit more adventurous, a little more structured, and I think a lot more fun to watch. So for those of you that are actually sticking around and following us on this road trip, greatly appreciate you. But with that being said, I will update you guys and pick up the camera if something interesting happens. Otherwise, we're just going to keep on cruising. And just like that, we're out of Kansas, and that right there is the Colorado sign. Got something for it, though. If any of you come out to Colorado from Kansas and you happen upon this exact sign, make sure that you send me a picture with the elevated sticker. And so with that being said, I think that's gonna wrap up this video. We still have about 4 hours of driving to get to our camp spot, kind of base camp while we're here in Colorado, but you guys are gonna have to wait to see what that looks like until the next video. So thank you so much for watching. Love you all. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here, and we'll see you in the next one. Adios.